Pancreatic cancer is one of the deadliest forms of cancer, and the scariest part? Most people don't even realize they have it until it's far too late. That's because the early signs are incredibly subtle, often dismissed as everyday issues like indigestion, fatigue, or minor aches and pains. But here's the truth. Your body may already be whispering warnings, and if you know what to look for, you can catch them before it's too late. In this video, we're going to uncover 10 warning symptoms of pancreatic cancer that frequently go unnoticed, and some of them may genuinely shock you. These aren't the obvious signs most people expect, and that's exactly why they're so dangerous. This isn't about creating fear, it's about creating awareness. Because when it comes to cancer, early detection doesn't just help, it can save your life. Every symptom you recognize early increases your chances of effective treatment and better outcomes. So take notes, share this with someone you care about, and stay with us until the end. Let's dive in and uncover the signs your body should never have to scream to be heard. 1. Sudden, unexplained weight loss. One of the most telling and often overlooked early symptoms of pancreatic cancer is sudden, unexplained weight loss. And we're not talking about dropping a few pounds after changing your routine. We mean significant weight loss that happens quickly, without trying, and without explanation. Why does this happen? When a tumor grows in the pancreas, it can interfere with your body's ability to digest food properly. The pancreas is responsible for releasing enzymes that help break down fats, proteins, and carbohydrates. If a tumor is blocking or disrupting this process, your body may no longer be absorbing essential nutrients, even if you're eating normally. The result? You begin to lose weight, sometimes rapidly, because your body is starving for nutrition on the inside. This type of weight loss is often mistaken for stress, aging, or other common factors. But if the pounds are falling off and you haven't made any major lifestyle changes, it's a signal you shouldn't ignore. Keep track of how much weight you're losing and how quickly. If you notice a dramatic drop, especially when paired with other symptoms like fatigue or appetite loss, it's time to speak with your doctor. Sudden, unexplained weight loss could be your body's first warning sign that something serious is happening beneath the surface. Jaundice is a condition where the skin and the whites of the eyes turn yellow. It's not just a random discoloration, it's a visible, external indicator that something deeper is happening inside your body. And it's one of the more common early symptoms of pancreatic cancer. But why does this occur? The pancreas lies next to the bile duct. When a tumor forms in the head of the pancreas, it can press against or block the bile duct. This obstruction causes bile to build up in the liver, leading to an increase in bilirubin, a yellowish substance produced during the normal breakdown of red blood cells. When bilirubin accumulates in the body, it causes jaundice. People often first notice jaundice in the eyes before it becomes more widespread across the skin. But that's not the only sign. Jaundice often comes with dark-colored urine, light or clay-colored stools, and itchy skin due to the bile salts being deposited under the skin. These signs together create a distinctive pattern that shouldn't be ignored. Unfortunately, jaundice can be mistaken for liver problems or other conditions. So it's important to understand the link to pancreatic function. When these symptoms occur without pain or with only mild discomfort, it may actually point more strongly to a pancreatic tumor rather than liver disease. If you or someone you know develops jaundice, especially if it's accompanied by weight loss or fatigue, it's crucial to seek immediate medical attention. It could be your body's way of signaling that something serious is going on behind the scenes. This symptom often catches people off guard, and it's easy to see why. The pain usually starts as a vague discomfort in the upper abdomen, just under the ribs. But what's especially concerning is when that pain begins to radiate through to the back, often to the middle or lower back region. Many describe it as a deep, dull ache or pressure that wraps around the body like a tightening band. What makes this pain particularly deceptive is how easy it is to mistake it for something else. Some people assume it's due to poor posture, a pulled muscle, or even indigestion. Others blame it on everyday stress or digestive upset. But in the case of pancreatic cancer, this kind of persistent pain is actually caused by a tumor pressing against nearby organs, tissues, or even nerves, especially the celiac plexus, a bundle of nerves near the pancreas. This pain might start off mild and intermittent. It could feel worse after meals or while lying down, both of which put additional pressure on the affected area. Over time, however, as the tumor grows or inflammation worsens, the pain often becomes more frequent and intense. And frustratingly, it may not respond to typical over-the-counter painkillers. In some cases, patients report that the only way to relieve the discomfort is to lean forward while sitting, an unusual coping mechanism that's actually a known characteristic of pancreatic pain. If you're experiencing unexplained upper abdominal pain, especially if it radiates to your back and seems to be getting worse, or if it's accompanied by other warning signs like weight loss, fatigue, or jaundice, do not ignore it. These patterns matter. It's important to seek medical evaluation immediately to determine what's going on beneath the surface. Catching these warning signs early can make all the difference. Your digestive system is closely tied to your pancreas, so it makes sense that changes here can be an early clue that something's wrong. Pancreatic cancer can block the pancreatic duct, which is essential for delivering digestive enzymes into your small intestine. Without those enzymes, your body can't properly break down and absorb nutrients from the food you eat. This can lead to a range of noticeable changes in digestion, persistent bloating or gassiness, indigestion that doesn't go away, feeling overly full even after a small meal, nausea after eating fatty foods, changes in bowel movements. One of the most distinctive signs is steatorrhea, which refers to pale, greasy, floating stools with a particularly foul odor. These are signs that your body isn't absorbing fat properly. People often dismiss these digestive issues as diet-related or chalk them up to stress. But when these problems persist or become part of your daily life, they shouldn't be ignored. A simple stool test or imaging scan can help identify whether your pancreas is functioning as it should. Don't let these signals go unnoticed. Your body could be trying to tell you something far more serious than an upset stomach. Let's be honest, most of us enjoy our meals, and a healthy appetite is something we often take for granted. But if you or someone you know suddenly loses interest in food without any obvious cause, it could be a red flag worth paying attention to. Loss of appetite is a common symptom of pancreatic cancer. As the tumor grows, it can disrupt the normal digestive process and interfere with the hormones that regulate hunger. Additionally, inflammation caused by the cancer itself may alter your body's metabolism, leading to early satiety, where you feel full after only a few bites. Some people find themselves skipping meals without realizing it. Others might sit down to eat and push the plate away after a few mouthfuls. If this becomes a pattern, especially when paired with weight loss or fatigue, it's more than just a passing phase. It's a potential warning sign. The loss of appetite can also lead to nutrient deficiencies, further weakening the body and accelerating weight loss. Over time, this can reduce your strength and energy, making it harder to fight the disease if it is diagnosed. The key takeaway here is, don't overlook changes in your eating habits. If your desire for food fades and you can't explain why, it's time to consult your doctor. Pancreatic cancer is often silent, but this is one symptom that can speak volumes if you're listening. This one might surprise you. A sudden diagnosis of diabetes, especially if you're over 50 and have no family history, could actually be a warning sign of pancreatic cancer. Why? Because the pancreas is responsible for producing insulin, the hormone that regulates your blood sugar levels. If a tumor begins to grow within the pancreas, it can damage the insulin-producing cells or disrupt how insulin is released. The result? Your blood sugar levels may spike, and you could be diagnosed with new-onset type 2 diabetes seemingly out of nowhere. For those already living with diabetes, pancreatic cancer may cause your condition to suddenly worsen or become more difficult to manage. You might notice a need for higher medication doses or experience more frequent spikes and crashes in your glucose readings, despite no change in your diet or exercise habits. This connection between diabetes and pancreatic cancer is well documented but not widely known among the public. And that's the danger, because many people chalk up their diagnosis to age or weight without realizing there might be a deeper cause. If you've recently developed diabetes and are also experiencing other warning signs, such as weight loss, fatigue, abdominal pain, or appetite changes, it's critical to bring it up with your healthcare provider. A blood test, imaging scan, or referral to a specialist might just catch something early enough to change the outcome. We all feel tired from time to time, but this kind of fatigue is different. We're talking about a deep, unrelenting exhaustion that doesn't improve with rest or sleep. If you're sleeping well, eating okay, and still feel like you're dragging through the day, or needing multiple naps just to function, it's a sign that something more serious might be going on. Cancer-related fatigue is one of the most common early symptoms in many types of cancer, including pancreatic cancer. This overwhelming tiredness can stem from the body working overtime to fight the disease, as well as from nutritional deficiencies caused by poor digestion and appetite loss. When your body isn't absorbing key nutrients or producing enough energy, you begin to feel completely drained. People often mistake this fatigue for overwork, aging, or stress, but if your energy levels are consistently lower than usual, and especially if you're also losing weight or experiencing digestive issues, it's worth getting checked. Don't normalize feeling constantly run down. Fatigue is your body's cry for help, one that deserves attention, not dismissal. Nausea and vomiting are symptoms that many of us experience occasionally, usually from something like food poisoning, motion sickness, or the flu. But when these symptoms become persistent or occur without a clear reason, they may point to something more alarming. In pancreatic cancer, nausea and vomiting often result from a tumor pressing against the stomach or duodenum, the first part of the small intestine, which can partially block digestion. This blockage causes food and stomach acids to back up, leading to feelings of queasiness, bloating, and eventually vomiting, especially after meals. Sometimes this nausea is constant and mild. Other times it can be sudden and intense. And unfortunately, many people try to brush it off, assuming it's something temporary or unrelated. But chronic nausea, especially when paired with weight loss, appetite changes, or abdominal pain, can be a red flag. If you find that you're avoiding meals to prevent the nausea or vomiting, or if you're throwing up regularly without a known cause, talk to your doctor. Persistent nausea should never be overlooked. Your stool can reveal a surprising amount about your internal health, especially when it comes to pancreatic cancer. One of the earliest and most overlooked symptoms is a noticeable change in the appearance and consistency of your bowel movements. When the pancreas isn't functioning properly, it may not release enough enzymes to help break down fat. This causes a condition known as steatorrhea, or fatty stools. You may notice stools that are pale, greasy, foul-smelling, and that float in the toilet bowl. These characteristics are more than unpleasant. They are clear indicators that your body isn't absorbing nutrients the way it should. In some cases, bowel movements become looser and more frequent. You may also see undigested food particles in the stool, another sign that your digestive process is impaired. These changes can easily be mistaken for irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, or dietary intolerance. But if these symptoms persist, or if they appear suddenly and don't improve with diet changes, it's time to speak to a healthcare provider. Monitoring your stool may feel awkward, but it can be one of the clearest warning signs that your digestive system and pancreas are under distress. This final symptom is one of the most surprising and least expected unexplained blood clots. While clots are often associated with prolonged sitting, surgery, or certain medical conditions, they can also be an early indicator of pancreatic cancer. Pancreatic tumors can alter the body's blood chemistry, increasing the likelihood of clot formation. You might experience a deep vein thrombosis, DVT, which typically presents as swelling, redness, warmth, and pain in the leg, usually the calf. Sometimes a clot can travel to the lungs, causing a pulmonary embolism, which can lead to chest pain, shortness of breath, or even sudden collapse. The presence of a clot without an obvious cause should always raise red flags. This is especially true if you haven't been immobile, recently injured, or undergoing major medical treatment. Doctors are becoming more aware of this connection, and it's something they often look into when a patient presents with an unexplained clot. If you experience any of these symptoms, don't delay. Seek emergency care and request a full workup to rule out underlying conditions like cancer. Clotting is your body's response to something, but when it happens out of the blue, it could be signaling a much larger issue. Pancreatic cancer has earned its grim reputation as a silent killer. For a reason, it often develops without any noticeable symptoms until it has reached an advanced stage. Unlike other cancers that might produce more obvious warning signs early on, pancreatic tumors tend to grow quietly and deep within the body. The pancreas is located behind the stomach, nestled among several major organs, which makes tumors difficult to detect in routine exams. By the time noticeable symptoms like jaundice, unexplained weight loss, or digestive issues begin to appear, the cancer may have already spread to nearby tissues or organs. This is why awareness of subtle symptoms and regular checkups are so important. With greater awareness, there's hope that more cases can be caught earlier, when treatment options are more effective and survival rates improve. It's important to remember that experiencing one or even two of these symptoms doesn't automatically mean you have pancreatic cancer. However, if you're noticing several of these warning signs at the same time, or if a symptom is lingering or progressively worsening, it's a strong signal that you should consult a healthcare provider. Certain people are at higher risk. Those over the age of 50, individuals with a family history of pancreatic cancer, smokers, people with chronic pancreatitis, or those with type 2 diabetes. For these groups especially, even mild or seemingly benign symptoms deserve prompt attention. Your doctor may recommend imaging tests, blood work, or a referral to a specialist for further evaluation. Early conversations with your healthcare team could make all the difference. Let's quickly go over the 10 potential warning signs of pancreatic cancer. Unexplained weight loss, jaundice, upper abdominal back pain, digestive changes, sudden onset diabetes, appetite loss or feeling full quickly, fatigue that doesn't go away, nausea and vomiting, changes in stool, blood clots. If you or someone you love is experiencing several of these symptoms, don't panic, but don't ignore them either. Early detection saves lives. The more aware you are, the more empowered you become to take control of your health. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might benefit. You never know, you might save a life. Subscribe to our channel for more essential health information, early warning signs, and expert tips to stay ahead of serious conditions. stay informed, stay proactive, and most importantly, stay healthy. Thanks for watching.